You've done speaking and you're doing things with the UN. Can you talk about some of the work with the UN and in more detail, kind of get more granular on what you're doing with the UN?
Yeah, so I am just an advisor, an introducer really to the United Nations Foundation. And so the foundation was set up by Ted Turner originally. And basically, the UN Foundation is there to support the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs.
Right.
And our efforts have been where the Hill Robinson Group, which is the company that I work for, I run the Americas region for their sales and charter location sub business called Moravia Yachting. And as a group, the CEO and owner of the company has generously given to donate to the United Nations Foundation over the years. And through that, I got involved, and it's great now where again I'm just facilitating an introduction really. So I open my network of yachting enthusiasts, and I'll invite them to a lunch gathering at the United Nations in New York. We'll hear from the extraordinary work of the United Nations Foundation. The last year were specifically doing a campaign awareness for um, uh, healthcare for children refugees. And so that was the campaign with Shot at Life, which is a charity within the United Nations Foundation. And what's wonderful is sometimes serendipity happens where I've invited some trusted clients and people in my network to this lunch I mentioned in aid of children refugees. And after, sending out my invitations, one of my contacts said, "Thank you so much. I'd love to come." And then he mentioned, "Did you know that I am a child refugee?"
Wow.
And it's just extraordinary. And it's such a sort of moment in life where I genuinely had no idea. And then when you hear these extraordinary coincidences, then of course he came to my event, to the lunch, chatted with others in the room and to the United Nations Foundation directly. And of course, it's very powerful when you know that a child refugee who's had a successful, extremely successful American dream coming over to the States is now able to directly give back through an introduction and a curated event that I've put together. So sometimes it's completely by chance that these moments happen, and those are the ones I remember vividly, and those are the ones I really enjoy when you can join these dots, and sometimes it really is extremely poignant and very curated and relevant to the people I can get in the room.
I mean, that's a profound story, and it's continuing to evolve, right? Because of the work. You also are involved with something called Entrepreneurs Impacting Change. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so that was a conference a couple of years ago. I was invited to speak at. So let's think. I'm a honorary advisor to the United Nations NGO Committee on Sustainable Development. It's a bit of a mouthful, but essentially, I've been speaking at their events over the years for ocean conservation and my expertise in sustainability and yachting. So I speak about my design work and other areas around sustainability in the marine world. And they then hosted another event at the United Nations in Manhattan where I spoke about entrepreneurs impacting the change was the topic of conversation, where I gave them a 5 minute summary of what we've been discussing today, just sort of summarizing where if you put your mind's eye to it, one can uh, put their trusted relationships through their career and then combine the dots into philanthropy, impact, and making a change for good. So that's what I spoke about at that conference.